They said Hermes would never discount. But now, they're slashing prices. Why? Because a factory in China just blew the lid off one of the biggest lies in luxury? A viral TikTok didn't just show any handbag, it showed what looked like a $38,000 Hermes Birkin, stitched with cheap tools in an ordinary Chinese workshop. The label? Type 01 Orange Export. Translation: not rare, not exclusive, mass production in disguise. For decades, Hermes sold the illusion of scarcity. Now, that illusion is cracking. Is Hermes scrambling to cover up corporate greed? Or has the entire luxury game just been exposed as a scam?
Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very
Xianglong Apparel, who supplies the most yoga suits, and it is also the OEM for Fila and Under Armour. Number 2, Hongqisheng Clothing, who produces yoga suits for Lululemon. Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5 with similar fabric and quality.
The TikTok clip was raw, grainy, and devastating. A factory worker casually showed off an orange crocodile skin bag, indistinguishable from a Birkin, the logo missing. But everything else? Spot on. From the stitching to the silhouette, it was unmistakable. Thousands of viewers played it back frame by frame. A second clip dropped soon after. More bags, more tags marked Type 01. Comments turned into investigations. People started comparing their own Birkins to the TikTok footage. The horror set in. The elite were being sold something that might cost less than a month's rent to make, marked up to the price of a down payment on a house.
Which Chinese factory supplies for Louis Vuitton? Let me tell you the secret. Louis Vuitton had many Chinese suppliers, but they just don't admit it. 50% of the Louis Vuitton bag are from these 2 places, Guangzhou City and Dongguan City. 90% of Louis Vuitton silk is from Wanshili in Hangzhou City. I have a friend who is a manager in the factory of Louis Vuitton, and he told me that the similar quality one just need $50 US. This is crazy, right?
Investigators began digging. What they found was worse than anyone imagined. Dozens of OEM, original equipment manufacturer factories in China claimed they'd been producing bags for luxury houses for years. Not just Hermes, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. One factory boss said, "We make it better than they do in Paris." Another factory listed a Hermes-style crocodile handbag on Alibaba for $380. Minimum order. 1. The same bag resold in Paris for $38,000. Former employees even came forward anonymously, confirming that their factories supplied nearly identical designs to both Hermes and the gray market. It wasn't a copy, it was the same product. Obsessed with celeb gossip? Smash that subscribe for Sarah's gossip! We sling fresh, unfiltered star drama daily. Hurry! Next bombshell's dropping soon.
Some of Hermes products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
It was my first time shopping at Hermes, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to...
That's when it hit the public. Luxury isn't about quality, it's about storytelling. You weren't buying a bag, you were buying status. You were buying the fantasy of Parisian ateliers, of hand-stitched tradition, of exclusivity. And suddenly, that fantasy was exposed as a lie. Experts estimated that some Birkin bags cost no more than $100-200 to produce, marked up 30x. And for what? A logo? A waiting list? A silent nod of approval from strangers? The internet exploded. Influencers wept. Reddit threads burned. One viral comment said it best, "I thought I owned a masterpiece. Turns out I own a marketing scheme, structure."
Almost finished bags from China factories, back to their own factories, and just do the repackaging and logo installing. Something.
The TikTok trend turned into an avalanche. Stitch after stitch, creators compared factory footage with high-end unboxings. They matched the grain of the leather, the sound of the zippers, even the serial numbers. Some bags from ghost factories had better alignment than those from official boutiques. Videos racked up millions of views. One creator, a former luxury reseller, uploaded side-by-side comparisons and declared, You literally cannot tell the difference. A black market reseller revealed he'd been sourcing from these factories for years, and his clients included celebrities. The lines blurred until they disappeared.
Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Hermes refused to comment. For weeks, silence. But inside, panic brewed. Sources close to the company reported emergency meetings, frantic calls to legal teams, and demands to scrub the internet of the factory footage. Quietly, something else happened. Prices in Asia began to drop. Discounts on Hermes, once unthinkable. Luxury PR teams scrambled to reframe the narrative. Craftsmanship is a process, not a place, one insider said, but the public didn't buy it. Too many receipts, too many TikToks, too many truths revealed in raw, unfiltered video.
Luxury bags carefully handcrafted in China. The viral TikToks from Chinese factory workers, the internet is now in a frenzy over claims that some of the most iconic designer bags are actually born in the...
It wasn't just Hermes. The entire luxury sector started to tremble. Stock prices of LVMH, Kering, and Richemont began slipping. Hedge funds started offloading shares in luxury fashion brands. Wall Street quietly took note. Gucci began testing quiet price cuts. Louis Vuitton rolled out soft discounts in Southeast Asia. Even Rolex began increasing dealer allocations. The unspoken cartel of scarcity and prestige was unraveling. The internet had democratized what used to be myth, and the myth was bleeding.
I spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so.
So Hermes has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in.
When the celebrities started bailing, you knew it was over. Cardi B, once the proud owner of a rainbow-colored wall of Birkins, suddenly went radio silent. No more handbag flexes, no more unboxings. Fans noticed instantly. Her Birkin content disappeared from stories, and her posts shifted towards smaller, lesser-known designers. Was it calculated? Of course. The fallout was spreading, and Cardi wasn't about to be caught clinging to a sinking ship. Then came Kim Kardashian. The queen of curated luxury posted new photos promoting a mysterious new handbag brand. Sleek, minimalist, no logos in sight. Not a single Hermes piece in frame. No Birkin, no Kelly, just silence. Behind the scenes, luxury PR insiders whispered about image distancing, damage control to avoid association with what was quickly becoming known as the Birkin scandal. Victoria Beckham was spotted next. Paparazzi caught her carrying a plain, brown leather tote. No labels, no medals, just clean lines. The woman once synonymous with posh prestige had seemingly moved on. And that's when people started asking the big question, if the celebrities are bailing, what do they know that we don't? The ripple effect was instant. StockX listings for Birkins dropped overnight. What used to be the safest investment in fashion, often reselling for double retail, lost its luster. Prices dipped by 20% in a single month, a crash unheard of in the secondary luxury market. High-end consignment platforms began pulling listings for authentication review. Translation: panic mode. Auction houses, who once treated Hermes bags like crown jewels, quietly pulled upcoming Birkin lots. Behind closed doors, salespeople whispered to longtime clients about temporary holdbacks. Translation: they didn't want the bags to tank on stage. Luxury forums blew up. Reddit threads, YouTube exposés, and TikTok reactions converged into a single phrase. It's a silent crash. But one YouTube documentary didn't stay silent. It took it further. In a video titled Luxury's Ponzi Scheme, an ex-industry insider claimed that brands like Hermes were playing a dangerous game. Artificial scarcity, media manipulation, and psychological tricks. The message? You weren't buying fashion, you were buying status addiction. And now, with the mask off, the addicts were fleeing rehab. The elite fled, the facade cracked, and Hermes? They said nothing. If you thought millennials were angry, Gen Z made them look tame. To them, the entire scandal wasn't just disappointing, it was insulting. This generation, raised on exposés, receipts, and social media callouts, doesn't worship logos. They worship truth. They want ethics, transparency, and receipts. And when those Ghost Factory TikToks dropped, Gen Z rendered their verdict instantly and loudly. If it's made in a ghost factory, it's not luxury, it's a scam. Satire flooded TikTok. Creators filmed parody unboxings of fake Birkins wrapped in toilet paper rolls. One viral skit showed an influencer pulling a crocodile purse from a takeout bag, saying, "Fresh from Guangzhou, baby." The comments? Brutal. This is what happens when brands sell delusion instead of design. 30 grand for a bag, made in the same room as my $80 AliExpress tote? Gen Z influencers who once gushed over investment bags began deleting old videos. Others made apology clips. I didn't know. I thought it was about craftsmanship. But it was too late. The trust was broken. Reddit fashion threads became war zones. High-end resale communities debated the ethics of buying from ghost factories directly. One post went mega viral for saying, "Why pay $30K for a fantasy when you can pay $300 for the truth?" Even college campuses weren't immune. In a UCLA fashion lecture, a professor scrapped an entire unit on luxury branding and replaced it with one titled "The Collapse of the Icon." Students laughed when Hermes was mentioned. The Birkin wasn't status anymore. It was cringe. And that's the real death blow. When a luxury item becomes a joke to the next generation of buyers, it loses everything. Not just demand, not just resale value, but meaning. To Gen Z, owning a Birkin now says one thing: you fell for it. So where does Hermes go from here? Can you rebuild mystique once it's been shattered? Can a brand built on illusion survive in an era of brutal transparency? Some say yes, that scarcity still wins. That the elite will always crave a symbol, but others say it's over. That the luxury era as we knew it is dead. Maybe the next Birkin won't be crocodile at all. Maybe it'll be digital, sustainable, or even invisible. But one thing's for sure, the world has seen behind the curtain and there's no going back.